Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen, Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we look at the current energies, the intuitive wisdom and insights, and we go as guided. And we're working with beautiful energies. Last week, we leapt forward to look at the Uranus squaring the lunar nodes, which is coming up on June 12th. And we're going to reverse now, as we said last week, and cover the Sagittarius full blue moon that just occurred on the 31st of May. Welcome, Kiki. Welcome, Heather. Welcome, Alicia. So before we do jump into the Sagittarius full blue moon, which is the only blue moon, meaning it's the second full moon in one calendar month. It's the only blue moon in 2026, this 10/1 year of new beginnings. So I want to jump very quickly, and then we'll backload into everything with this Sagittarius full blue moon. And this is from astrologer Pam Youngins at North Point Journal regarding Uranus and the nodal axis. So this week we are working with the effects of the upcoming square between Uranus and the moon's nodes, which is exact to the degree on June 12th. The north and south nodes of the moon are pivotal, karmic points in space that reveal humanity's current course of evolutionary progress, as well as the qualities we collectively need to release. As Uranus squares, and remember, Uranus is the higher mind, the expect the unexpected. So as Uranus squares the nodal axis, we can experience a strong restlessness with current systems and a deep desire to break free from the past. Surprising events could occur that rewrite the story we've been telling ourselves. This is all about the stories, the scripts, the labels, the masks, the identities, the truths that we tell ourselves. So surprising events can occur that rewrite the story we've been telling ourselves, individually, collectively. New insights and perspectives will challenge us to change our habitual behaviors because humans love repetition and pattern. And so it's challenging at times for us to really change our lives or change the trajectory of our lives. And yet, this is the era, this is the year, this is the moment we've all been waiting for that really breaks the mold, that rewrites the story of our individual lives and that of the collective. And finally, Pam Youngins at North Point Journal, the square between Uranus and the South Node in Virgo, because the South Node is currently in Virgo, provides incentives for us to free ourselves from old patterns of fault-finding and blame, nervousness and worry, criticalness and overanalyzing. And with Uranus squaring the North Node, because remember, when it squares the nodal axis, it's going to trigger both the North and the South nodes. So with Uranus squaring the North Node in Pisces, we are reminded that instead we can choose compassion and forgiveness, truth, trust, and faith, non-judgment, and focusing on the larger picture. So while this Uranus squaring the nodal axis will perfect on the 12th of June. It's in effect now. There's a pre and a post to this June 12th moment. So now let's take a look at the actual main energies. And so we are working with June is a 6th month. Welcome, Colleen. June is a 6th month, so it's about the conflict, let go. It's the 3rd, so we have difficult beginnings, persevere, and yes, this is challenging times. We're meant to persevere through all of this monumental change. This is not garden variety astrology, energy, as above, so below. These are monumental times of change and shift and deconstruction, the old collapsing, and construction or reconstruction, as in advancing into the new. It's a messy, life is messy. Birth is messy, death is messy, life is messy. And so this is where we are. So it's difficult in the beginning, persevere. And yet look at these triple ones. We're in a 1 year, the 6, 3, and 1 become a 19, which becomes a 10, which becomes a 1. And so this trifecta of the creative force initiate, doing so with cautious advance, that we keep taking the steps necessary to move forward, but we do so with consciousness, with great care. Now, here's the astrological chart for the full blue moon in Sagittarius that occurred at 9 degrees 55. 9 is a completion of a cycle. 55 is about great abundance. There will be a ripple effect with this full blue moon. Again, the only blue moon of all of 2026, the second full moon in one calendar month. Okay. The key word here is reverberation. So let me just bring it up. It's our key word, reverberation. This full blue moon in Sagittarius at 9 degrees 55, which is completing a cycle, and yet it becomes a 10, which literally is about new beginnings and abundance. And so with our key word, what we're looking at here is reverberation. An act of reverberating, the state of being reverberated, something that is reverberated, an effect or impact that resembles an echo, the shaking and echoing effect that you hear after a loud sound has been made. This full moon is going to reverberate out for some time. They typically have a shorter window and so forth, but there's something about this one that is triggering a greater ripple effect, a reverberation. In a spiritual context, reverberation represents the lasting energetic echo of a sound, thought, or action. It signifies how the vibrations we put out into the universe, such as love, intention, or a spoken word, continue to resonate, ripple outward, and shape our reality. What we put out into the world is already coming back to us. This moment will have a longer lasting, energetic echo, ripple effect, reverberation. So watch for what happens now. It occurred on the 31st of May. But watch for this ripple effect, because remember too, the moon illuminates. It reveals. It's a culmination. And so it's in essence a tipping point. Remember, we had that a few shows back, that a tipping point had been reached and exceeded. And this, watch what happens next. And that's exactly number 2 from the unseen. A window opens, ... for all to see. What resides on the other side remains to be seen. And they gave me the word seen, S-E-E-N, so it remains to be seen, to be witnessed. But they also gave me the word seen, S-C-E-N-E, as though a part in a play, a movie, a television show, celluloid films, things that are recorded that have a long-lasting effect, retention, history. So a window opens for all to see. What resides on the other side remains to be seen. witnessed and played out, because it's a scene. And a scene can also, remember, a scene can be like a movie, a play, we're watching something occur and happen. It can also be a scene, like quite the event, quite the chaos. It can be a scene in that matter. So there's a lot of double, triple entendres on how the unseen is speaking to this moment. That a window opens, and let me just bring that up. A window opens for all to see. What resides on the other side remains to be seen. So be mindful of thoughts, actions, because we're in this Uranus striking the nodes. It's like plucking the nodes. It's going to reverberate. It's going to amplify, magnify, and you want to make sure that your energies, your thoughts, words, deeds, actions, everything you're doing is aligned with True North, your highest octave, so that it literally delivers you to the next greatest aspect, iteration, incarnation within this incarnation of yourself, your soul's path and journey. What did my soul say it would do? What did it come to experience? And allow yourself to align with that and release, South Node, release what's preventing that from occurring. It can be people, places, things, thoughts, words, deeds, mindsets, beliefs. Release that and then step into the new, which is, where is my soul, that inner knowing? It's pulling you forward. Where is it guiding you to go? What is it saying to you to not do so as to wait? So there's patience involved so that you actually receive this next greatest octave. Because again, we can circumvent the journey, and the ego, mind, personality, the human gets worried, fearful that something's not going to happen, or because I can't see it yet in this moment. And they choose safety, security, a lesser octave, a South Node choice, something familiar, something known, which means that it circumvents this next greatest octave that could be everything you've wished for and more. Did you have the patience and the grace, the perseverance, the trust that it would come about, even and especially when you cannot see it in the moment? There's a knowing, but it's yet to manifest, materialize. Well, that's walking the walk, talking the talk, aligning with it. So now let's look. So we have the astrological chart, and as you know, I read them intuitively. And what I heard instantly when I looked at these energies in this chart, what I heard was the phrase, open hatch, bombs away. So open hatch, bombs away. Spiritually, this phrase represents the total surrender of rigid ego structures to allow profound inner transformation. An open hatch signifies vulnerability and receptivity to divine wisdom. That's your soul source connection. While bombs away symbolizes letting go of destructive patterns, so, quote, miracles and spiritual rebirth can emerge from the chaos. We're in a tremendous moment of deconstruction, construction, or reconstruction, chaos. And yet, through it all, they're showing me the end of Top Gun Maverick, and where the jets, they fly through the clouds, they burst through the clouds. So from the chaos, the clouds, this fighter pilot jet and everything goes whoosh, and comes through the clouds into pristine, clean air. Well, this is where, by allowing the open hatch, signifies vulnerability and receptivity to divine wisdom. Bombs away symbolizes letting go of destructive patterns, so miracles and spiritual rebirth can emerge from the chaos. The open hatch is about vulnerability. On a ship, hatches allow passage. Spiritually, leaving the hatch open represents a willingness to explore the depths of your psyche and open up yourself to a higher guidance or unexpected opportunities. There's Uranus, unexpected opportunities, higher guidance, soul source connection. So this is about remaining open, in alignment with it, to allow it to come forward. Bombs away is about surrender. While dropping a bomb implies destruction, Spiritually, it represents the breakthrough that shatters old, limiting belief systems and a readiness to step into your true, authentic self. This is about shattering the past, shattering the ego, the human, the limitations that prevent us from reaching our highest octave. Everything that we know we want in life, that somehow over the course of life and life experiences and everything, we tell ourselves we can't have. And yet they're right in front of us. They're right before us. We just need to align with the fact that we can have them. We will have them. To do so, we must choose them. We got to let go of the old, surrender. It's an ego death and rebirth. Together, these actions depict an ego-shattering event. Like God's egg hatching, it is the release of control, allowing divine light, divine wisdom, guidance, time, order, to flood in and fundamentally reshape your reality. And it's about navigating chaos. Life often throws unpredictable bombs your way. The universe is always testing us. It's a conversation, as a dear friend and colleague, Pam Vallette would say. She would often say, when I get upstairs, I'm going to have a conversation with God about the fine print. Well, here we are. Life often throws unpredictable bombs your way. It's testing us. It's asking us, it's testing our commitment to a higher octave, to a greater, because with great power comes great responsibility. We have to be ready. We have to be willing to listen, to go as guided, to receive an ever expansive life experience, soul experience. Because otherwise, if we're cavalier about it, then we're not in reverence and respect and honor of the responsibility that comes with that greater expansion, that greater octave. And so life often throws unpredictable bombs your way. Rather than reacting with fear, the spiritual lesson is to accept the chaos as a necessary catalyst for growth and core healing, going to the heart of the matter and healing it. If or when you experience a period of intense upheaval, this open hatch bombs away concept acts as a reminder that the storm is ultimately a vehicle for profound spiritual development. We have an overall theme, and this one was very, very interesting and very challenging for today. It took a little bit, and I got this immediately after the show last week. Let me just bring up our main theme, and it is forced confessions. Oh, how the truth heals all. Now, implicit in forced, it can mean that it's illicit, deceptive, coerced. But that's not what the unseen meant. And I literally went to try to circumvent. I'm like, this, I'm not sure, I'm trying to get there with what you're conveying. And I went to change the main theme and everything. And they said, no, you're not. Go back to forced confessions. It's not that it's forced as in coerced. Forced as in higher power, which took me back to the March 18th show, which was about forced growth, the dawn of a new day. So forced confessions, oh, how the truth heals all. Forced growth, the dawn of a new day. Forced in the sense that a higher hand is at play, the divine will, divine time, divine order, the divine, the master weaver, the host, the all that is controlling the narrative. It is delivering us. We are either in alignment with that deliverance or we're in opposition to it. So forced describes something done against a person's will, compelled by circumstances. It can be done, quote unquote, against our will, but yet we know it's for us. So forced confessions is about something that is compelled by circumstances from on high. produced with effort. It's naturally occurring. The exact meaning depends heavily on the context in which it is used. This is what I was personally struggling with when I'm looking at this, because I'm like, forced means coercive, against your will, personal will, and so forth. And of course, when we go beyond the surface, when a higher octave, the all that is, comes in and says forced growth, forced confessions, it's not against our will, it's compelled so that we reach a higher, deeper octave of ourselves. It's done or brought about by force. It's compulsory. So again, we're not on the human level. We're not speaking here about human level where it's coercion, it's coerced, it's against a person's will. This is a higher octave force that is compelling a change. It's a compulsory force, event, to bring about necessary change. In biblical theology, true confession must be voluntary to result in heart transformation. Yes, we all understand that it must be voluntary. This is 8 billion plus souls on the planet. Massive change occurring. And the divine steps in and says, the arc of destiny moves forward. We are going, the whole of the whole, the all that is going this direction. So it's compelled, it's compulsory, it's quote unquote forced for us. While forced or coerced confessions are not viewed as valid expressions of repentance, the Bible does highlight the ultimate inescapable acknowledgement of God's, the divine's sovereignty by all of creation, which carries several positive theological meanings. The finality of divine justice. When forced confessions occur in biblical narratives, such as the testimony of demons or defeated worldly rulers, acknowledging God's divinity, it highlights the undeniable reality of God, of the divine, of the unseen, compelling entities to speak the truth against their will. It strips away falsehood, establishing the divine's reality, God's reality, the divine's reality, cannot be hidden or defeated. So it's a very powerful moment. This Sagittarius full blue moon, Uranus striking the nodes, the nodal axis, the Mars-Pluto square, all of this pent-up confrontational energy needing to be released. And it's being done so from a higher octave. So it's forced, or it's compelled, it's compulsory, so that it speaks truth against what otherwise would be human will, which remains in falsehood, shadow, lies, deceit, collusion, illusion. So I just want to bring back the main theme. Forced confessions. Oh, how the truth heals all. Very powerful, very ancient lineage. The image of these rocks in the Middle East. There was an image of a gentleman in this image that looked like Master Jesus. And I removed that piece of it because what I wanted everyone to receive from this image is the antiquityness of this image, of the ancient stones and so forth, the illuminated light, and that in the absence of that image of Master Jesus within the image, because the unseen is speaking. So instead of being so on the nose with it, or people perhaps maybe taking a a religious or Christian aspect. Nothing wrong with that, but to move beyond to its limitlessness, that it transcends all, because that's what's happening here. This is not one specific culture or religion or country or gender or whatever it may be. This is universal. This transcends all. And these forced confessions, meaning the higher hand is going to come in and force the issue so that the truth prevails, the truth comes to light. Number one from the unseen is a stellar opportunity of awakening, consciousness, and advance. Catch it while you can, which says there's a ticking clock, there's a timeline on this. Again, how quickly do we move to surrender, release, align, face ourselves, allow this higher force to bring about confession to ourselves, to the unseen. I want to go to the word, confessions. Sorry, I want to go there. In a spiritual context, confession is more than just admitting wrongdoing. It is the act of being radically honest with yourself and the divine. By bringing hidden faults into the light, you actively shed the spiritual burden of shame, inviting deep healing, forgiveness, and transformative growth. It's about agreeing with truth. In the original biblical languages, such as the Greek, confession literally means to say the same thing. It's about being in alignment with divine truth. Not what the ego, mind, personality, human wants us to believe or know, that we mask and label ourselves with. But when we peel that back, what's the truth? To say the same thing. Spiritually, this means aligning your perspective with the divine's. It is an acknowledgement that your actions or thoughts have missed the mark, viewing your flaws on spiritual terms rather than making excuses or shifting blame. It's a catalyst for repentance. Confession is merely the first step. It naturally leads to repentance, which means turning away from the negative behavior or reorienting your life towards spiritual growth. It means learning the lesson, not repeating the choices, not the mistakes. There are no mistakes, there's only choices. So repentance leads to a turning away from the repetitive negative behavior, choices. While confession unburdens the soul, repentance solidifies your commitment to doing better moving forward. It's a commitment to aligning, letting go of past choices or repetitive behavior. It's about humility and the death of pride. Speaking your shortcomings aloud, whether directly or to a higher power or to a trusted spiritual guide, requires deep vulnerability. This act shatters the ego and humbles the spirit, replacing stubborn pride with a teachable, open heart. It's about cleansing and freedom. Concealing mistakes, choices, creates internal walls and spiritual heaviness. Confession is often compared to spiritual breathing. By exhaling your faults, you clear out the toxicity of guilt. This unburdening invites divine grace to heal the broken areas of your soul, your psyche, your human. It allows you to see yourself in a perfected state, meaning whole, unified, pure, because everything is purposeful. We may have made, air quotes, bad choices, but those bad choices, I'm using air quotes, bad choices, are choices that show us ourselves, our purity, from a shadow choice, event, perspective. Allow it to refine you, not define you. You can just as easily choose anew in this moment, acknowledge the choice that was made, repent for it, meaning align to not repeat it, and release it. Own, atone, release. And lastly, it's about reconciliation. Confession restores harmony not just vertically between you and the divine, soul source connection, but horizontally between you, yourself, and others. Acknowledging when you have wronged someone else breaks down hostility, rebuilds broken relationships, and fosters a healthy, connected unity, community, oneness. Whether it's with yourself or others, it's going to do the same. Kiki is saying step 5 with AA. Exactly. These beautiful systems like AA, they're built on fundamental truths, transparencies, vulnerabilities to break us down, humble us, to rebuild us in a pure, empowered, aligned manner. And that's what's important here, because there's a stellar opportunity of awakening consciousness in advance. Catch it while you can. Then I heard with that, so catch it while you can, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. So we're going to go to catch a tiger by the toe. This phrase comes from the classic children's counting rhyme, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. While originally a tool for random selection on a spiritual and symbolic level, it represents the precariousness of making choices, testing boundaries, and dealing with the consequences of waking up your wild side. It's about acknowledging. It's about the power of choice. The rhyme acts as a spiritual tool for divination or leaving a decision up to fate. It teaches the spiritual lesson of surrendering control to the universe when logical reasoning can no longer guide you through an impossible choice. This is where we're at this point. We're not in the old, we're not completely in the new. We're in this liminal space in between. When our logic, our ego, mind, personality, human, can't figure out the equation, the answer, it is not absent of knowing. There will be loud knowing to do something, to not do something, to wait, to move forward. But it doesn't mean that we can see the entire picture. It's the hermit in the lantern with the lantern. The light in the lantern is from the star card in the tarot. So the hermit in the tarot, the lantern is only illuminating the next few steps. It's not a floodlight that illuminates the entire picture. So it's about the power of a choice and aligning with the unseen to guide you. It's about confronting the uncontrollable. The tiger symbolizes raw power, primal instinct, and untapped passion. Catching it by the toe represents overstepping your boundaries or awakening a force you cannot easily control. You want to be in alignment with the unseen, the divine, your soul. It is most powerful, all powerful. We've talked about this. Man can go out and make whatever building structures. Mother Nature comes along, wipes it out in a nanosecond. So it's about being in alignment with this primal force, divine force. The ensuing holler represents a spiritual wake-up call, urging you to retreat from a volatile situation. Because again, our soul, the divine, the all that is, the unseen, they're not here to harm us. They want the best for us. And so it can be about a spiritual wake-up call so that you know to realign, reassess, to get it right. Because remember, full moon, it's going to reverberate, it illuminates, it brings to the light so we can transmute it. You want to be in alignment with that, with the purity of that energy, the octave of that, because it's up-leveling. It's up-leveling us. And we're either in the flow, catch a tiger by the toe, if it hollers, let it go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay. So it's that catching it can be a holler. If it hollers, let it go. You want to be in alignment. Otherwise, you get the cosmic 2x4. It's not pretty when you get the cosmic 2x4. And lastly, the wisdom of letting go. The line, if he hollers, let it go, holds a profound spiritual lesson about detachment. It reminds you that when you disturb a powerful energy, a toxic relationship, a volatile ambition, or a suppressed emotion, or you're pursuing something you know not to, the highest wisdom is often to gracefully release it rather than force a fight or force an experience you need not experience. So it can be about entering a relationship, and you know everything in you is telling you not to do it, and you do it anyways. Or to not purchase a property or take on a position or move to a different city. If it's where you know, the ego, mind, personality, human, the logic, the intellect is going to rationalize, and it's going to say, oh, I can make this work, and oh, this would be beneficial for me. It will give you every possibility, excuse known to man. However, the soul's knowing, this higher force, this higher octave, will be so loud, telling you when it's not in alignment, that it's deafening. At that point, you have the choice. Which wolf wins? The one you feed. Am I going to listen to my human, my intellect, my rationalizing, or am I going to listen to my highest octave, my soul source connection, and go as guided, and thereby await what is to come, what is for you, so that all of a sudden you're riding the wave, not being pummeled by it. It brings us to our mantra, no more excuses. Forced confessions, oh, how the truth heals all. This is about looking at ourselves, looking at the truth, not a truth, the truth. Piercing the veil of illusion, getting in alignment with our soul source connection, with this highest octave of where we're going. And the way to do that? No more excuses. You will know, it will be deafening if you are making a choice or a decision that is incongruent with your soul's destiny, path, trajectory, fate. You'll know it. And you'll equally know it when it is in alignment. It will just carry you, like, again, riding the wave in, as opposed to being pummeled by it. Now we're going to step into the Sagittarius full blue moon. This is from astrologer Juliana McCarthy at etherealculture.com. A vision takes hold. A Sagittarius full blue moon forms on Sunday, May 31st, shining light on the dreams we've been working hard to manifest for a while. Ruled by Jupiter, which is now exalted in Cancer, so Jupiter is in Cancer, this lunation carries enormous hope. Remember, reverberation, ripple effects. We've moved through doubt and are ready to step into deeper confidence while trusting our unfolding. We know, South Node, we know where we've been. So we've moved through the doubt, and we are ready to step into deeper confidence while trusting our unfolding. Jupiter and the moon are in mutual reception, each planet falling in the other's home sign, offering reciprocal support. So it's, imagine you and your bestie or something in each other's homes. You're not in your home, you're in your bestie's home. And how reciprocal beauty, comfort, peace, joy that brings, that you like being in each other's homes. That's what's happening with Jupiter and the moon. They are in mutual reception, each planet falling in the other's home sign, offering reciprocal support. Something palpable is reaching fruition. A window opens for all to see. What resides on the other side remains to be seen, to be witnessed, and to be played out. How it plays out is up to each of us. That's free will and choice. This is also a blue moon, the second full moon in May, amplifying its potency and sense of culmination. Fantasies have dissolved, and realistic visions are ready to come into being. Sagittarius, that's where the blue moon occurred. Sagittarius is the sign of the philosopher and adventurer. He seeks meaning through fearless exploration, willing to look, willing to advance, willing to align. The archer asks, of everything we've learned, what is actually true? Forced confessions. What's actually true? What's true? Not the lie you want to tell us or tell the people or the public, but the higher octave, the unseen, the all that is going to come in and force the truth to be seen. So what is actually true? What is worth living by? This full moon axis invites us to allow our curious, restless minds to finally land somewhere and deepen our understanding of what we believe and how we're choosing to frame reality. The sun in Gemini, sextiles, that's a harmonious aspect in astrology, Saturn in Aries, providing a backbone to this lunation. It's going to have a reverberation. It's going to have a lasting ripple. It's got a backbone to it. Here's Saturn. Saturn reminds us that the dishes won't do themselves. When we want to manifest our dreams, we have work to do, intentions to set, and discipline to implement. We have to be in it to win it. Meanwhile, Mercury sextiles Chiron in Aries, and words carry healing power now. Truth is ready to reveal itself, which may sting depending on where you are in alignment or in illusion or delusion or truth. However, facing it can help us release what no longer serves us and move into the next stage. This is also a moment to examine our habitual thought patterns. Sagittarius knows that our beliefs shape our realities. So what we're telling ourselves creates our realities. Uranus is squaring the lunar nodes, which may feel jolting or destabilizing. It's about quantum leaps forward, shaking up the mandrakes, being repotted for expansion and growth. So it may be destabilizing. However, it's helping to liberate us from past wounds while catapulting us toward our evolution. Information arrives suddenly and perspectives shift quickly. Where have we been clinging to a version of events that's no longer accurate? This full moon provides genuine momentum. It may feel like a river that has found its channel and knows where it's going. Grounded in our bodies, possibilities begin to expand. Obstacles are lifting, hearts are opening, and our minds are feeling sharper than ever. We're coming into a state of clarity. Hold that thought about a sharper, and our minds are feeling sharper than ever. It's number 4 from the unseen, but I would just want to finish this quickly with Juliana McCarthy at etherealculture.com. On this Sagittarius full moon, may we open to receive what is truly meant for us. May we release whatever has calcified, moving into the vision that has always been ours. Number 4 from the unseen is an open window. And it is about the SABIAN symbol that goes with that open window. And so it's Aries 24, and this is Dane Rudyer, an astrological mandala. Blown inward by the wind, the curtains of an open window take the shape of a cornucopia. Openness to the influx of spiritual energies. This is about being open to receive. And remember, back when it was forced growth on the 18th of March, that episode, The Dawn of a New Day, it was listen intently, be open to receive, be ready to act. Number 4, an open window. So blown inward by the wind, the curtains of an open window take the shape of a cornucopia. Openness to the influx of spiritual energies. The principle of abundance is brought to a further stage in this rather cryptic symbol. Physical fruition is shown operating at a more subtle and spiritual level. The wind, the pneuma, spirit, blows through the open mind, the window, and brings into the house of personality, of being the human, a promise of, quote, more than material potency. This is our highest octave, our higher octave coming to manifestation, to manifest, to reality. Wind blows from a region of high pressure to one of low pressure, as above, so below. As the window curtains are blown inward, the individual consciousness represented by the house is receiving, this is your vessel, your being, your human, is receiving a more concentrated influx of spiritual energies, enabling this higher octave consciousness to extend the scope of its awareness and creative expression. It's coming in, it's Pentecost. It's coming in, it's baptism by fire. It's coming in to expand us, to expand the human, our vessel. This message applying to this fourth stage, 4 is foundational, is that inner growth demands not just an open mind, but one able to provide a container for a spiritual harvest. So it can't be that we just have an open mind. We have to be open, aligned, grounded, ready to receive, in alignment with, so that we can, with great power comes great responsibility, so that we can actually, because we're the custodians, so that we can manage this up-leveling with great care. The cornucopian shape of the window's curtains suggests that the subtler, translucent aspect of the mind, the curtains, has acquired a plastic quality, enabling it to be molded by transpersonal forces. This is an expansion of consciousness. It's an open window. By us being open and aligned and willing and determined and committed, it demonstrates our ability, our willingness as the custodian to manage this up-leveling with great joy and care and enthusiasm and empowerment. It's not business as usual, garden variety, everyday astrology, energy, times, life. This is the extraordinary. This is the color to technicolor moment. It is an up-leveling, and that up-leveling requires us to be ready, to be in complete oneness, alignment with it. Number 3 from the unseen is the full regalia. The full regalia. Spiritually, this means it represents stepping into your ultimate purpose, fully equipped and empowered. See, this is what the soul came to do. It's no longer about what the human wants, what the human decides. I. It's the soul. It's the receptive force. It's the divine working through us. This has always been the case, but now again, it's in the driver's seat, and the I, the ego, the human, is in the sidecar. It's in alignment, in service to divine will, soul source connection. So the spiritual meaning of the full regalia represents stepping into your ultimate purpose, fully equipped and empowered. It is the manifestation of spiritual readiness, divine alignment, and sacred authority. It's the magician card in the tarot. The magician has everything it needs to manifest, to bring the manifestation of spiritual readiness, to bring it down. Divine alignment, sacred authority. Wearing it symbolizes that you have integrated your gifts and are answering a calling. Depending on your spiritual or cultural path, the full regalia carries specific meanings. It's about sacred service and calling. What my soul came here to do, to experience, to offer. In many African and indigenous traditions, full regalia, such as ancestral beads, garments, or headdresses, represents spiritual awakening and alignment with one's ancestors or spirit guides, the unseen. It marks a person who has accepted their spiritual gifts and responsibilities. It's about divine authority and alignment. In religious and esoteric traditions, full robes, crowns, or vestments represent a mantle of spiritual authority. It signifies that the wearer acts as a vessel or bridge between the physical and divine realms, operating under spiritual law rather than ego. It's about a higher octave, answering to a higher octave, answering to the unseen, the divine. It's about energetic protection. Full ceremonial or spiritual clothing serves as a shield. The specific colors, symbols, and materials, like feathers, leather, or specific metals, act as an energetic boundary, protecting the wearer from lower frequencies while performing healing or ceremonial work. And it's about connection to lineage. And again, a show or two or three ago, it was about healing lines, ancient lines and lineage. Well, regalia connects the wearer to a larger lineage. Whether it is clan markings in indigenous cultures or liturgical vestments in an established faith, it ties the wearer to generations of history, wisdom, and community legacy. This is not our first time at the rodeo. This is not our first incarnation, unless it is. It's a possibility that some of the 8 billion souls on the planet, this is their first incarnation in human form. That is a possibility. However, as a soul, as a spark, a fractal of the divine, it's not our first time at the rodeo. So we stand on the shoulders of giants at this moment, at this precipice of change, and how that ancient lines and lineage is being healed, is there to assist wisdom and unity and legacy as we navigate this moment. And the key takeaway, to be in full regalia, is to be completely spiritually armed and aligned. It is a visual and energetic statement that you are centered, protected, and fully inhabiting your highest sacred role. You will know when you are doing that. You will equally know when you are not doing that, when you are not in alignment with that. The minute you let go, grab a tiger by the toe, if he hollers, let him go. The minute you know that you're not in alignment with your highest octave, with this full regalia, let it go. Have faith and trust. Realign. Stop and pivot. Do whatever you need to do. Because again, difficult in the beginning, persevere. It doesn't matter how seasoned you are. An ancient Buddhist monk, Pema Chodron, she said, I've been meditating for 30 or 40 years. I still don't think I'm doing it right. So here's a Buddhist monk saying, I'm 30, 40 years in. I still don't know if I'm doing it right. It doesn't matter. It's an everyday moment choice of stop and pivot, recalibration, staying in alignment, walking the walk to stay in alignment with this highest octave so that an open window, that cornucopia of spiritual abundance, consciousness, can permeate your being and expand you. When each of us do that, it's a ripple effect. There's a tipping point that's reached and exceeded. And of course, this forced confessions, forced growth. Oh, how the truth heals all. The truth will set you free. The truth sets us free. It liberates us, which expands us. It empties the vessel to receive more. More divine blessings, divine gifts, divine acceleration, this divine trajectory. Because again, what the ego, mind, personality, human will choose will always be less than what your soul source connection, the unseen, your soul would choose for you. You can guarantee it. It's only when the ego, the human, is in alignment, in service to the soul, that this greatness of opportunity and abundance and prosperity and growth and expansion comes to be. So it's about listen, 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 listen. They did, again, last week they did this 1, 2, 3, 4 from the unseen, and a 0. They repeated that this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. 0 from the unseen this week is forced growth for the betterment of all. So it's forced growth for the betterment of all. And it goes with the Sabian symbol, literally for the moon, for this Sagittarius full blue moon. The Sabian symbol, Dane read an astrological mandala, a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. The keynote is society's efforts at dramatizing the greatness of what it offers to the ambitious person. Civilization as a process demands the goading of individuals to spend their vital energies in the pursuit of achievements which, while fulfilling the individual's ambition and greed, nevertheless generate various forms of what we call progress. This sequence of symbols mainly refers to the drive for advancement along human or all too human paths of growth. This is where the soul is always choosing things. It'll always be less than. It can be illicit. It can be for the individual ambition or greed, dressed up as progress. We see in this symbol how socio-cultural forces operate by dramatization and propaganda. This goes back to a window opens for all to see. What resides on the other side remains to be seen, S-E-E-N, and seen, S-C-E-N-E. So it can be about how this brings about dramatization, scene, S-C-E-N-E, propaganda, like it's a scene, it's an S show. The result is all too often a process of forced growth. So here's 0 that represents the all that is. And this is, so where our human choices are resulting in where we are in the deconstruction, all of those cumulative individual and collective choices have brought us to this moment, this point, where we have to face our choices, our fears, what led us to this point. Not to punish us, not self-flagellation and all of the, and to beat ourselves up. No, to transmute, to refine, to advance. And thus, to the point of the main theme, which is forced confessions. Oh, how the truth heals all. The unseen is compelling us, forcing us to get real, to get honest, to speak truth, which liberates us. And thereby, we achieve that cornucopia, that utopia that is on offer. There's such powerful energy here with this. It's really quite extraordinary. I want to go to the full moon in Sagittarius, Astrology by Lauren. And she begins with a quote from Jan Phillips. God is at eye level. In my quest of the infinite, I have come to believe that God, truth, beauty, love, all those concepts I associate with the divine are not things that are found at the end of the path, like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but are rather what I experience on the journey as I travel through life. Or perhaps more explicitly, they are the journey itself. We are constantly being guided and given the opportunity to an open window to bear witness to God, to the divine, to the all that is, to truth, to the purity, the beauty, to love, so that we choose it. Because again, the human will always choose less than until it doesn't, until it aligns, until it sees, air quotes. So Astrology by Lauren, the full moon in Sagittarius 2026. This is an excerpt. The full moon in Sagittarius is often about big feelings, all the more so with Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, in the emotional sign of Cancer, the moon's very own sign. We call that a mutual reception when planets are in each other's signs, as Moon in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Cancer are. It's about being in each other's houses. Like house swapping, the Moon and Jupiter have a mutual regard and understanding of each other's domain. Due to Jupiter's exaltation in Cancer, they also enjoy these domains. Jupiter expands all the emotions and feelings while here, and the Moon feels larger than life in Jupiter's domain. It's expansion, advancement. It's optimistic, expansive. We grasp at straws of hope, encouragement, and possibility in the light of this glorious full moon. For it simply needs to be so. This is a moon of big dreams. There's going to be a reverberation, the sort of dreams that dare us to reach higher. It aims to make us aware of a bigger vision for the future, and to see it, there it is, a window opens for all to see, and to see it just there at the far end of the horizon. It's within reach. We're almost there. Through the vastness of the full moon in Sagittarius, we are given the opportunity to know and experience the sort of potential that can grow, perhaps even beyond our previous expectations. So it is this expansive moment that we are being afforded, given, so that full regalia, an open window, the window opens, and this forced growth moves us. When we are in harmony and alignment, it catapults us forward. When we are obstructing that or trying to cleave to, it's a cosmic 2x4 moment. And it will have lasting reverberation, lasting ripples. So you want to be on the right end of truth and destiny and, thunder, Shakana, Uranus, expect the unexpected. You want them to be positive. You don't, and proactive, not reactive. And lastly, just to close up, this is from moonomens.com, the blue full moon in Sagittarius 2026. Growth is not linear. This is about Exodus. This is about, when God guided Moses to free the Israelites, it was not a direct route. It did not come without challenge, difficult in the beginning, persevere. And it did not come without the testing of faith and determination and commitment. And of course, we know how that story ended. God, the divine, the all that is, Yahweh, parted the sea, took out Pharaoh's army, offered manna, daily manna, bread, water, smiting the rock, water from rock to feed, the Israelites and the livestock and so forth. And what he said was, have faith, have trust in me, and no false idols. Moses goes up on Mount Sinai. The 10 Commandments written on the tablets comes down, only to see a golden calf that had been erected, and we were better off with Pharaoh. We were better off where we were, and which demonstrated a lack of trust and faith. And yet there was God. There's the unseen, offering all of these miracles, biblical miracles, as I call them, biblical miracles. We have those in our lives now. Where has the unseen, the divine God, the all that is, however you ascribe, demonstrating miracle after miracle after miracle? Are we in alignment, in oneness with the divine that is offering these blessings to give us something greater, the promised land, the land of milk and honey, opportunity, abundance, a cornucopia? And what God, the unseen, was saying in that moment, with great power comes great responsibility. When I give this to you, I must know that you are ready, that you will handle it with the respect and the reverence and the care that it deserves, that it requires. We already know where we've been. We already know where the choices that we have made, the goo, the shadow, where we have fallen short, south node. It's not to stay there or go back to it or repeat it. It's to release it, to advance and move forward, north node. And so we find ourselves at the precipice of this massive transitional moment, a time and energy. So I just want to close moon omens. Full moon trine Saturn and Neptune, sextile Pluto. Growth is not linear. The moon in Sagittarius trines, harmonious aspect, trines Saturn and Neptune in Aries and forms a sextile, another harmonious aspect, with Pluto in Aquarius. There is help from the as above, so below. There's help from the unseen to make this transition possible, palatable, easier. These harmonious alignments support our ability to stay grounded, deepen our emotional and psychological self-awareness, and have faith in the unfolding of events, even when we don't yet see their purpose. We have a knowing, but we can't see it all yet. The activation of Saturn supports the development of emotional maturity and of the capacity to take responsibility for our actions, choices, as well as for how we express what we need and feel. Neptune's trine to the moon facilitates empathy and compassion, while reminding us that at times the most compassionate thing to do is to set boundaries and make clear decisions. Not everyone is going to be happy for you, for us, in terms of moving forward, aligning. And so we're given help, sustenance, to stay strong, determined, persevere. Pluto sextile to the full moon inspires us to go deeper in our transformation process and face uncomfortable truths without shaming or blaming either ourselves or others. Around this time, we have an opportunity to understand our and others' choices on a more profound level and release attachments that are helping us grow. Remember, the definition of suffering is attachment. Let go of the attachment, suffering ceases. The blue full moon in Sagittarius, growth is not linear. As the blue full moon in Sagittarius peaks, her ruler Jupiter is in Cancer, squaring Chiron in Aries. This square can bring doubts about the higher meaning and purpose of our experiences. We may question our faith and find it challenging to hold ourselves in times of uncertainty. Difficult in the beginning, persevere. Chiron at 29 degrees of Aries, that's the anaretic degree, is exposing wounds around self-trust, self-assertion, and having the right to exist and take space. Since the last degree of the sign is activated, our experiences are getting more radical and drastic around this time. Jupiter in Cancer emphasizes the importance of coming into contact with our inner intuitive wisdom instead of searching for answers outside of ourselves, listening to our soul source connection. This combination of energies reminds us that our emotions carry wisdom. They always carry a message that needs to be taken into account. In Cancer, Jupiter intensifies the need for emotional honesty, truth, asking us to embrace vulnerability and dare to share the truth of how we feel. It's about being honest with ourselves and with others. These days, we have a chance to witness how far we have come and reach more clarity about the meaning of everything that took place throughout the calendar month. It's everything that's been leading up to this moment that's gotten us here. On this blue full moon in Sagittarius, we are invited to step back and strive to see the bigger picture of our lives. We have an opportunity to recognize where we lost touch with our authenticity and choose to follow the desires of our hearts. This lunation reminds us that growth is not linear and asks us to trust the path that is revealing itself as we walk it. Walk the walk. Talk the talk. This is about spiritual alignment. So excited to see where this is all going. It's always a mystery. So thank you all for your presence, your contributions, your energy, and your commitment to yourselves, your commitment to the unseen, to the higher octave of your being, your soul. It knows everything. It has everything it needs. It in alignment with the unseen, will deliver, will provide, will up-level you to a place that you alone, human, would never have chosen for yourself. Difficult beginnings persevere. Forced confessions, oh, how the truth heals all. A stellar opportunity of awakening consciousness in advance. Catch it while you can. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. A window opens for all to see. What's on the other side remains to be seen. A full regalia, an open window, forced growth for the betterment of all. We will see you next week.